If you've been thinking about starting a clothing brand, but you don't have a lot of money to get started, this is the exact video for you. I'm gonna share with you the most cost-effective way to start your clothing brand right now. And this is actually the same exact method that I used last year to launch my clothing brand and scale it all the way to 6 figures in just 6 months. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you what method I used and all the steps in between to go from your idea of a clothing brand to actually literally getting your clothes in someone's hands, okay? And so if you have any questions at all, make sure that you comment them down below. I try to answer every single comment that I get. So the very first thing that you want to do when it comes to starting your clothing brand is you want to get your business in order. This is very, very important, okay? So you want to make sure that you come up with your brand name. Now, all the dopest brand names out, I found, always use 1 to 2 syllables, right? So Burberry, Supreme, Denim Tears, Celine, Gucci, you get the picture, okay? So you want to make sure that it's catchy and your target audience will rock with your brand name, okay? Once you come up with your brand name, then you want to secure all your social media handles. Now, this is really a pain because it feels like everybody and their mama has like all the coolest names and social media handles out. So you want to make sure that it's not taken, because if it's taken, then you're going to have to rework it. You know, it's really annoying and frustrating, but you got to go through the process, okay? Once you're able to secure all your social media handles, all that stuff, you want to make sure that you're able to secure the domain, okay? Now, for me, I set up all my clothing brands through Shopify, and you can secure your domain name through Shopify. If you haven't already set up your store through Shopify, then I would recommend using my link in the description down below. They're giving away a free trial, and I think they have like 3 months for $1, so that's super cheap right now. But I would secure my domain name through Shopify. And so once you have your business in order, you're ready to move on to the next step. Now, I would also recommend that you try to trademark and get your brand name copyrighted if you can in your state, but that can take, $100 to $250, if not more, in certain states. So I'd look that up, but you don't necessarily need to do that out the gate. But if you do have the money to do it, then make sure that you have your business in order, set up your LLC, etc. But if not, you don't have to do that right out of the gate to at least get started. Okay, so now that you have your business in order, the second thing that you want to do is start focusing on your designs. Now, if you already have graphic design skills, God bless you. I didn't have them, so I had to go the second route. But if you do have the skills, you can create designs 100% for free. I know people use Procreate, they use Canva, Kittl, Photoshop. There's a lot of softwares that can help you create the designs yourself, okay? Now, if you're like me and you don't have any graphic design skills, you will have to hire a graphic designer, okay? Now, you can buy pre-made designs off of Instagram. If you just type in .std, there are a bunch of designers that will sell you pre-made designs. I've done that with my brand from time to time. Now, I will say these designers aren't the most ethical, and they will sell the same design to multiple people. And so I have had issues to where designers have sold me a design and somebody else the same design, and we've been trying to drop, and it just becomes a headache, right? And some of these pre-made designers will sell your same exact design to Shein or these other fast fashion people. So I would stay leery of using pre-made designs because, again, these people aren't the most ethical sometimes. Or you can go the Fiverr or Upwork route and hire somebody from overseas to create a design for you. Typically, they can charge anywhere between $5 to $100, $200, depending on the type of design that you want to create. But obviously, if you have the design skills, creating the design yourself is the most cost effective, okay? Now, in general, though, I would recommend that you keep whatever design that you get or create very, very simple. You want to make sure that it's 1 to 3 colors max, and you don't want to do anything too creative, okay? Because creativity costs. So if you want to do like puff print, or you're trying to do like embroidery or anything like that, I would stay away from, creating those type of designs, because it's going to be very, very expensive to create those designs and get those produced when it comes to manufacturing. So that is something that you also want to be thinking about when it comes to your design process. So once you have your designs, the next thing that you want to do is get your mock-ups made. Now, this is a very important step, because you can launch your brand with just mock-ups if they look good enough, okay? So you want to get your mock-ups made. Now, you can do this 100% for free. All you need to do is go to websites like the Brand Bible, or you can actually go to whatever blank that you plan on using website and just steal their photos. So I see a lot of people just take pictures from like Rue Porter and then put their PNG file or their image over the blank. You could do that too. Now, if you have some money, you can go to, I think it's called the Creative Market, and you can buy a blank pack. Normally they're like 15, 20 bucks, right? Nothing super expensive. And they'll give you the Photoshop files that you can use and then put your images or your designs over, these blanks on Photoshop. It's really up to you, but you can 100% do this for free. You do not need to spend money creating the mock-ups for your clothes. Okay, so now that you have everything in place, right, you can now find a manufacturer. Now, for me personally, I use the pre-order method to launch my clothing brand. And this is honestly the most cost-effective way to launch a clothing brand, and honestly any product-based business, okay? And so all the pre-order method is that somebody purchases your garments before you have them in stock. You take the money that they use to buy the garment, you pay the manufacturer produces the clothes, they either ship it out to your customer, right? So that's like the print on demand drop shipping method, or they ship your products back to you and then you ship out your orders to your customers. It's up to you. I will say, if you have your manufacturer ship out the products, then it eats into your profit margin. So you have to decide how much money and how much time you have to get to your clothing brand, because obviously packing your own orders is cheaper, but that's entirely up to you. Now, there are two camps that use the pre-order method. Sometimes people use the overseas manufacturer. Sometimes people use local manufacturers. I personally recommend using local manufacturing, because the production times or lead times are so much faster, right? And so if you use a local or stateside, I'm based in the United States, local manufacturer, they're going to be able to get you your product in hand typically within 7 to 10 business days, or ship out your product to your customers within 7 to 10 business days. Most overseas manufacturers are not going to be able to compete with that time frame, okay? Normally, it's going to take 4, 8, 12 weeks. And if your bulk order or your order gets stuck in customs, or the sizing isn't right, or anything happens while your package is traveling overseas, it just causes a huge headache. And especially if you're a new brand, most people do not want to wait 2 to 3 months for their clothes. They're going to start charging back. Your payment processor is going to start holding your money, and it's going to be a nightmare, okay? I don't care how much that you communicate with people. I know people say, hey, send people emails, text them, etc. But most of the time, this method doesn't work well, okay? Even for me, that has a 7 to 10 business days turnaround, as a new brand, people still want their stuff in 2 days, 3 days, okay? So that's why I recommended before, is that keep your design simple, because most local manufacturers can't really produce what overseas manufacturers can produce. And it's going to be way more expensive to produce the more creative, puff print style designs locally than it is overseas. So you keep more money, but have faster shipping times if you keep your design simple, okay? Now, if you're looking for manufacturing, all you have to do, I would recommend, is look up local screen printers or print shops in your local area if you're in a major city. So any major city should have a good local print shop. But if you're really struggling to find print shops, all you have to do is go on Instagram, type in print shops, and you'll find a bunch of them in LA, Chicago, New York, mainly LA, because a lot of the blank companies are based in LA. But I'm here based in Orlando, and I have a couple of good, relationships with screen printers here in the Orlando area. But all you have to do is do a quick Google search to find a local manufacturer, and they should be able to get you whatever you're looking for. And a lot of them have very low minimum requirements for different screen printing or direct to garment printing that you're more than likely looking for. Now, once you identified your manufacturer, you want to make sure that you get a sample. Do not launch your brand and take pre-orders without getting a sample, okay? This is one of the biggest mistakes you will make, because you want to make sure that the sample looks good. You want to make sure it's up to the quality and standard that you're hoping for, because I've definitely gotten samples and I'm like, yo, this doesn't look like anything I sent you. The sizing is off. Like, definitely get a sample. Now, depending on, again, your creativity is going to determine how expensive this sample is. If you want to get puff print and all this other crazy stuff, all over print, stuff like that, it's going to cost. But again, if you get something and you have a simple design, it's not going to be as expensive. So, definitely do some quotes with your manufacturer and figure out, how you can get your sample to you in the most cost-effective way. Okay. Now, once you get your sample in, you can take pictures of your sample to either, put on your website. You can post pictures on your Instagram to kind of tease your product. Right? Once you got your sample in hand, it's time to get your marketing game on, okay? Now, once you have your sample in place, it is now time to make sure that you set up all the other aspects of your website. So you want to make sure that you communicate on your actual product pages on Shopify how long it will take to ship this product out, okay? You want to make sure that you're very clear that this is a pre-ordered item, or it will take 7 to 10 or 2 to 4 weeks for this product to ship out, depending on what manufacturer that you chose, okay? This is key. And then also, once you set up your email and SMS marketing, right, you want to make sure that you send them within the order confirmation, letting them know that this is a pre-order item, or it's going to take 7 to 10 or 2 to 4 weeks for them to get this item. And then within those 2 to 4 weeks or 7 to 10 business days, you want to, continue to email them, letting them know that their product is on the way, this is what's going on, etc. You want to make sure that you try to keep your customers in the know as much as possible, especially when you are doing the pre-order method. Okay. Now, if you need help actually marketing your clothing brand now that you've gotten it off the ground, I would recommend that you check out this video right here, because this is going to help you get your clothing brand not only started, but get it to this 6-figure mark in just 6 months. So check it out, this video right here.